What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going up to a motorcycle show and swap meet. I got the Sportster shined up again to put it in. I was gonna bring the blue bike, but there's like 3 different categories, and there's top 3 places in those 3 categories, and one of them was loud as pipes. And I don't really think this bike's super loud, but it's definitely got the loudest pipes out of my bikes right now, until I get the Yamaha done at least. So, and it's cash prize for all 3 spots, so I figured I might as well at least try to give it a shot. We'll see how it goes. But anyways, we're going up there for that, and I've got my wife in the truck behind me, loaded up with a bunch of old parts that I've been wanting to get rid of for a while. It was free registration for the bike and the swap meet, so I figured might as well do both. Good opportunity to try to get rid of some stuff. But yeah, stick around. I'm gonna record some up there. I don't know how much. I may go around some bikes. I may just kind of show you guys the swap meet table. I really don't know how much I'm gonna record, because I've never really recorded going to an event yet. I've always just done, you know, stuff in my garage and riding around. So I don't know if I'll remember to do it or if I'll feel like doing it, but I'll try to capture some of it for you guys. I also don't know how big this one's gonna be. I believe this is only the 2nd year they've done it. This is the first time I've ever went to it. It was kind of weird for the registration. You just kind of signed up for it online and registered, and I did this months ago. And then I never really heard much back. And then finally I got some emails. I like messaged them and asked, make sure I was confirmed. They said yeah, and so a little weird, a little different than some of the other ones I've been to, but we'll see. They're supposed to have some food trucks and stuff here too. It's at a casino, in the parking lot of a casino too, so they've got food inside, I know, but I don't know what kind of food trucks and whatnot are coming. They just kind of, it sounded like it was a lot of the same for the vendors and stuff. They just kind of signed up and had a slot and they show up. So anyways, like I said, once we get up there, I'll show you the table I got set up, and I'll show you what it looks like up there, and yeah, we'll go from there. So hang tight.
Well, we made it back. We've been back for a little while. It's this evening now. As you can see, the swap meet part didn't go quite as good as what I hoped. I sold two things. I sold a set of pegs and a fork bag that came with the Sportster when I first bought it, and I didn't really want it. It was a Harley Davidson branded bag though, but I just sold them both for $5 because they came up and asked how much, and I was wanting to get rid of stuff, and I figured somebody's not going to say no to $5, especially if they're asking for it. So got rid of those. I had a couple bites on the little TC Bros light license plate bracket thing, but nobody came back for that. So it's kind of a bummer. It was a lot of work to load it up and unload it and load it back up and do all that shit just to sell $10 worth of stuff and two really small things. So I'm kind of bummed because I spent my time doing that. But you know, I tried. It was free. It was okay. I probably would have left sooner though, if I didn't have to load all this stuff up. So it was definitely a hindrance, but now I know. It was hot. We had my 1-year-old with me, so I didn't actually end up recording any footage on the way back. So that's kind of why I'm recording this now. We were just kind of trying to get out of there. I was done. You know, I was ready to leave. Like I said, having this, not being able to leave, you know, because they kind of had it shut down where we had this, where we couldn't drive in there and load up and leave, really. And it ran long, too, which wasn't really a fan of. I mean, when I say it ran long, it's supposed to be over at 2 o'clock, and we left at like 3:30. So if it was only like, I don't know, 30 minutes or something, I'd kind of understand, but it was a little longer than what I wanted it to go over. But at the end of the day, it's kind of whatever. At least let me get this set up here. At least we got out of there and stuff. I didn't get anything for to put in the Sportster in. I didn't really expect to. It was definitely a lot different show than the Spokane motorcycle show I went to earlier this year and put it in. So this one had a lot of different bikes, and there was 3 categories like I told you guys about. There was custom, best custom, top 3. It was like a $500, $300, and $200 prize, and then a trophy for each one. And then there was People's Choice, 5, 3, $200. And then there was loudest pipes, and I signed up for that one originally. Like I told you guys, that's kind of why I took this bike. But there was like, they did it in sections of 5. There's probably like 35 people total that did that challenge. And people were revving their bikes up B40 and started throughout the day. And it was just kind of like, I don't want to do this. It kind of took, it wasn't what I would do. Like, I wasn't going to rev the absolute piss out of my bike and tear my shit up like a lot of those people were doing. And some of them definitely had, I don't think my bike would have been the loudest one there anyways, or even been able to contend. The guy that ended up winning it had a Kawasaki VMAX, and it was loud, and it actually sounded good. There was a lot of bikes too that were up there that, yeah, they may have been loud, but they just did not sound great. And and like I said, it was running along anyways, partly because of that. So I was like, I don't want to be another person just in this to rev my bike up and make this process take longer when I know I'm not going to win, or even come close. So I just took myself out of that. I was more than happy to do that. Like I said, I wasn't there to tear my stuff up. But it was cool to watch other people do it. It's always cool when you watch other people tear their stuff up, or just, you know. But the show overall, it was okay. I don't know if I'll go back next year, especially as far as like entering stuff. It just wasn't really for me. The crowd, it was a mix of crowd, but it was a lot of just like your like stereotypical biker people kind of. and they were just riding in on their baggers, and just, you know, it just wasn't quite my style of show that I would want to go to. I like more of the custom built bikes, the chopper shows, you know, like the Born Frees, the Party at the Pens, the Laconia bike, or not Laconia, what's the one out in Ohio? I can't remember what it's even called now. There's a bunch of different shows though. Mama Tried, all those types of shows. And this one was just kind of like a regular bike show. It was cool because it was free. I mean, everybody got in free registration for their bikes. You got in free to do the swap meet, and then they still gave out money because it was at a casino. So that was pretty cool. You had to sign up to have their, like, the casino's card if you won the money or whatever, but it was free too. So I was just gonna do it if I won and just be like, yeah, I'll go sign up and get a card. But yeah, it like I said, it was hot. It was a long time. I would have liked to just been able to leave. So next year, if I go up there, it was a nice ride. It was a beautiful ride up there and back. So I may just ride up there next year and check it out and then leave. It's more of that kind of show, just to have something to do. But there was also a really big swap meet today and tomorrow down at our Spokane Expo Center, that the big show that I took the bike to in March. That was this weekend. That was like cars and all kinds of stuff. I would have almost rather spent my time and went there. But I decided to do this because I was like, well, instead of spending money, I can try to make some money. But it didn't really work out quite like that. But anyways, I don't feel like I wasted my time putting the bike in as much as just taking the parts. I mean, I spent a lot of time trying to clean the bike up and stuff, but that doesn't hurt the bike. That only helps take care of it, and it needed to be cleaned and everything anyways. I probably wouldn't have cleaned it quite that much, but like I said, it's still good for it. So I'm not really mad about putting the bike in or anything like that. And like I said, I didn't put it in to try to get anything. I think it's cool. I like to watch people walk up to it and kind of turn their head and be like, what is that? So I get enjoyment out of that. It's just something different. But that was on the bike show. I'm probably gonna, here in the next couple days, record a couple more things for you guys for in this video. At least I'm planning on it. We'll see how that goes. But I'm gonna pull the blue bike back out and try to kind of go over it a little bit, because here in about three and a half weeks, we're gonna be hitting the road and putting some serious miles on it. And I want to kind of make sure it's up to snuff. I know I have a fork seal leaking, and I really wanted to do all that before I went. I don't know if I'm gonna have time, so I may just have to try to buy a seal kit and just at least do the seals or something, or I'll just kind of see how bad it is. I'm not quite sure what's going on with it yet. I haven't had time to really check it out. I know my tires are good, so I don't have to do anything serious like that, but other than that, I just want to really go over it and make sure everything's good to go. I may do an oil change on it. It's been a while since I've done the oil change, but I'm definitely not at the mileage. But it's set for a little while. Just haven't rode it quite as much here. The past year or two, I've been riding the Sportster more and saving that bike, especially because I'd taken on these long trips and then rack up the miles and stuff. So I'll go over that and probably do the oil change and whatnot. But yeah, I just kind of go through and make a laundry list of what I need to do, and then maybe start doing a couple little things. Maybe we need to get out and wash it, so I may do that. But yeah, stick around, and I'll see you guys here in a second. But for me, in a few days. All right, so it's time to pull this thing out. We're gonna wash it up. First, I'm gonna bleed these back brakes real quick because I never got them bled real good that last time, and now it's back to nothing. So I think I need to put a little fluid into the master cylinder and then bleed it real good and actually get all the pressure built back up. Then we're gonna take it out there, wash it, take it for a short little ride, and I'm gonna personally walk over it a little bit and check out these forks that are leaking and stuff like that. Make a list of things I want to get, parts need an order for it, so I can get some things done for it before I go on a big trip. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the camera up, let you guys watch me bleed the brakes real quick, and then wash it, and we'll go for a short ride, and that'll probably be about the end. so we got that bled now. I'm gonna push the bike out and wash it up. My camera's a little low on battery, so I'm not gonna show you guys me washing my bike right now. So I'll let that charge up, and then we'll, like I said, we'll take it for a quick little spin and make a little list of things I want to buy for it or need to do on it, service on it before we go, and then we'll end the video.
Alright, so I got the bike all washed up. I'm taking it for a little cruise now. Then I'll go back and kind of polish on it as I make my list. I feel like, you know, if I polish up the bike and really looking at things as I do that, it helps me find different things that I want to put on the list. But I told you guys I kind of wanted to redo these forks. I wanted to put new forks and lowers and stuff on it. Kind of running out of time. I may end up just getting some seals for now and putting them in there and see how they do. Hopefully it'll tie me over for maybe a little while longer, because I mean, I'm trying to build a chopper right now, so I'm trying to spend a little bit more money on that than I am this, as far as things like that, and to buy the chrome lowers and the tubes and all that. I mean, it'd be a few $100s, so I'd rather, if I could put some seals in it for 40-50 bucks and buy me some more time, then I'll just do that. It's not a big deal to me, especially because I'm getting ready to take like a few $1,000-mile trip, and I'm putting brand new chrome lowers on it. I'm worried if I do that, I'm gonna end up getting them nicked up somehow. Of course, with these old ones on there, I probably won't. It won't happen. But if I had brand new ones on it, my luck, that's how it would work. So that's kind of my idea with that, is just try to get some seals and do that. Bled the back brake, it's working great, way better. I mean, to barely touch it, got good response. Front brake's good, I didn't have to do anything to it. I know my primary and my transmission oils are good. Transmission oil hadn't been in there very long. The primary definitely hadn't been there very long. It's been since I changed this belt, and I don't even think I have 500 miles, maybe a little over 500 miles since I put the new belt on. So that's another thing. I'm going to tighten the rear. The belt's not bad. It's got a little bit of slack in it, but I want to tighten it up a little bit. So I don't want to end up slipping some teeth, getting too loose, especially because on the trip I know it'll stretch out a little bit anyway. So I'm going to ride this bike for the next few weeks a lot more, I think, especially after I tighten that belt, to try to get it stretched to where it's going to be, so I don't have to worry about it as much on the trip. But obviously I'll check it throughout too, just because it is still so new. But what else do I want to do? I wouldn't mind, I used to have a dipstick that had the thermometer on the top, but the one I had was not very good. It was bad quality, and it didn't last. It used to get like the condensation underneath the lens, and then after a while it would just stick up over 100-something degrees. So my temperature was like 75 to 100 degrees more than what the actual bike was. So I used to have to try to read it like that, and I found I just got rid of it. It just wasn't worth it anymore. It was like even the glass was cracked in a little spot, you know. It wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. It's not a necessity, but I would like to get a new one before the trip, just because, especially when I'm out on the road, I like to be able to see what my oil temperature's at. Especially if I ever end up getting stuck in traffic, that's when I look at it the most. I was down in Florida one time in like July, and I got stuck in like, it wasn't even stop and go traffic, it was just dead stop traffic pretty much on Highway 4, and it got pretty hot, and that's when it was reading like 75 over. And so I was constantly trying to look down and figure out about where I was at, and it was getting so hot, even that, it was reading almost 350, or more than that, I think, actually. I think it was like 375 to 400. Like I said, but that was over what it actually was. And I finally just pulled over to the shoulder and rode down the shoulder and got off the highway and got the bike moving, because it was just, I was worried it was getting too hot. But yeah, like I said, I'd like one of those, not a necessity, but I'm gonna put that on the list. My tires are good. The back tire is maybe got 750, maybe 1,000 miles on it, if that. So it's not bad at all. Front tire, it's going to be more than enough for this trip. I haven't checked the tread depth on it yet. I probably will, just to make sure. But it's definitely going to be good enough for the trip. And then probably after I get back, maybe this winter or next year, at some point, I'll need to put a new tire on it. But let's see what else. Obviously, I'm going to do just a straight oil change on it. But that's kind of why I'm going to ride around, because like I said, this oil isn't super old, I don't think. Well, not mileage wise, but it's a little old because I just hadn't got this bike out to get to really ride it a lot. I used to ride it all the time because it's my only bike, and now that I got the Sportster, I ride it most of the time, save miles on this for when I want to go on a big trip or, you know, a long ride, stuff like that. Try to keep the like daily type miles off of it, the hard miles. And so it's been a while. It may have 1,500 on it or so. I'll check it and see what it looks like, but probably do that. I'll pull the spark plugs, go over that, make sure it's good. When I had the tanks restriped here a few years ago, I did the whole fuel system in there, so I'm not worried about any of that. Other than that, like I said, you know, I've already checked my brakes out. Brakes are good, so I don't feel like I have too many other major components to worry about other than that. As long as all that stuff's good, then we'll be all right. So anyways, thanks for joining in on this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I know it's kind of a random video, but got a little bit of a bike show, a little bit of working on bikes, some riding bikes, a little bit of all around video. Not sure what I'm going to film next week, really. I also may have some random content coming up for you guys. I'll run it by you and see what you guys think. Some of the ideas I have coming up here soon. But other than that, for now, thanks for joining, and hope you enjoyed. Later.